I'm going to show you how to get and use Dominating Presence in V Rising. So, Dominating Presence is a certain skill that you can access on the radial menu once you equip it that will allow you to dominate any type of humanoid and bring them back to your castle in order to either put them in a servant coffin, which might be why you are looking this up, or to put them in a prison cell, which you'll get later on. Also, if you don't know how to equip it, you can press J or click the book icon way over to the right of the screen to go to your ability screen, to go to Vampire Powers, and then drag it on. But how do you get it? I should probably get to that. How do you get it? Well, when you do these quests at the top left, at my point in my game, I'm on the final quest, so I can't show you exactly, but you just, when you get into a new game, get into a new server, make a new character, just do those quests at the top left. It'll eventually want you to build a servant coffin. After you build this, it will give you Dominating Presence as a reward. If I remember this right, it's right in that quest chain, though, so it's in the quest chain. And then there, you'll have it. Now, if you have trouble with the servant coffin, I'm assuming the thing you'll have problem with is the greater blood essence, which you can get from, the easiest way to get it is going to be Unsullied Hearts from just defeating early game V blood bosses. So just a quick little excerpt on that. But anyway, let's get into the Dominating Presence. Let me show you how to do this. Okay, so I'm at a bandit camp. You know, I've put on the Dominating Presence on my radial wheel. You hold left control by default to bring this up. And then you go to a human. There's two ways to do this. You can, first off, you can just go into Dominating Presence if you want. And down here is this, by default, it's R. Press R, and it'll do this to him. And it'll just slowly take his health down until he's able to be dominated. Now, that's like not the ideal way to do it because you'll get the crap beaten out of you while you do that. But if you do that, there's no that, not just that, but anything. When you dominate one of these people, suddenly they can be hit by friendly fire. So even though these enemies will not target him, if they hit him just by coincidence of trying to hit me, then he will take damage, as you probably saw right when I dominated him, although it's kind of hard to get these guys to hit him. I'm trying to actually get them to hit him, and it's a hard thing. It's a hard thing to do when you want it to happen, easy thing to have happen when you don't want it to have it happen. Well, anyway, you can't even kill him when you're doing this, but you can press R to release the target, which will actually hold this to release him, and it'll kill him. The other way is to weaken them first, below 30%, because the way Dominating Presence works is it wants to take them, once they're below 30%, then it will just dominate them as soon as it ticks a single time. And so that's like the faster way to do it, the safer way to do it. And then once you have one dominated like this, like I said, you have to protect it, because if you get it from really far away, if your base is all the way down here and you're trying to bring them from Silverlight Hills, first off, it's going to take forever to walk this guy back if you were in that situation. But the whole time you have to be careful, because enemies will try to hit you, and if they by coincidence hit him while he's just following you like this, then they will do damage to him. So it's very easy to lose your I don't know what to call it, your dominated human in that way. Now, if you're playing on an actual multiplayer server and you're playing with any kind of friends or a clan, you would definitely want to go out together with another person when you do this. So that way, when you're on the road heading from one point to another, you can have the other person clear the road ahead of you and make sure that you never have to directly engage with anything that could get your new servant killed. Anyway, once you get him, I mean, this is beyond the scope of Dominating Presence video, but, you know, just to tell you, you take him back to your servant coffin. Oh, never mind, Jim has died. Not that one. Let's go to this empty one over here. You go to your servant coffin when he's following you, and you can convert him. And then, I'm not going to convert him because I don't want this guy, but it takes, I think by default, like an hour and a half or so without if it has matching flooring, it takes 45 minutes, I think. And I'm not 100% sure I haven't made a servant guide yet. I'm not 100% sure if it depends on their blood quality or their level or anything, but I know it was an hour and 30 for the other two I did, but the other two were the same early game ones, like the one I have right now following me. So that's what you'll do with your servant once he's following you like that. And then that's it. That's Dominating Presence. And if you want to get out of Dominating Presence, you can hold control, and then just with the mouse in the middle somewhere, you can just let go, but it won't let you do that while you have someone following you like this. So keep that in mind. You can't actually undo it unless you get rid of your servant that's now following you. Well, hopefully it helps you out. If you want to get out of this thing, like I said, once the servant's gone, you just hold control of the mouse in the middle, let go, take you out of the form. But that is how Dominating Presence works. That's how to get Dominating Presence. That's how to equip Dominating Presence, and how to bring a servant back to a servant coffin. Ideally, also later on, there's prison cells, and you can take them to those too using Dominating Presence. So that's everything I can think to tell you about Dominating Presence. Yeah, there's not really anything else to it as far as the ability. So hopefully it helps you out. Now you know how to get and use Dominating Presence in V Rising.